1. Soil testing. The first step to improving your crop yield is to conduct a soil test. This will help you determine the nutrient levels and pH of your soil, which are crucial for plant growth. Based on the results, you can make informed decisions about fertilization and soil amendments. 2. Crop rotation. Growing the same crops in the same plot of land every year can deplete the soil of essential nutrients and increase the risk of pests and diseases. Consider rotating your crops to maintain soil health and break pest cycles. 3. Proper irrigation. Adequate water supply is essential for plant growth. Make sure to water your crops regularly, but not excessively. Overwatering can lead to waterlogging and cause root rot, while underwatering can stunt plant growth. 4. Fertilization. Fertilizers provide essential nutrients to your crops, but it's important to use them in the right amount and at the right time. Too much fertilizer can harm your plants and the environment, while too little can result in nutrient deficiencies. 5. Weed management. Weeds compete with your crops for nutrients, water, and sunlight. Implement proper weed management techniques such as mulching, hand weeding, or using herbicides to control weed growth and prevent them from affecting your crop yield. 6. Pest and disease control. Regularly monitor your crops for pests and diseases and take appropriate measures to control them. This can include using natural predators, cultural practices, or pesticides. Early detection and prevention are key to minimizing crop damage. 7. Timely harvesting. Harvesting your crops at the right time is crucial for maximum yield. Waiting too long can result in overripe or damaged crops, while harvesting too early can result in underdeveloped produce. Follow the recommended harvesting time for your specific crops. 8. Proper storage. After harvesting, make sure to store your crops in a cool, dry place to prevent spoilage. Proper storage can also help maintain the quality and shelf life of your produce. 9. Crop diversification. Consider diversifying your crops to reduce the risk of crop failure and increase overall yield. Planting a variety of crops can also help improve soil health and provide a more balanced diet for you and your family. 10. Regular maintenance. Finally, regular maintenance of your farm and equipment is essential for successful crop production. This includes keeping your tools in good condition, maintaining irrigation systems, and regularly checking for any signs of pests or diseases.
Thank you, AgriAI, for these detailed suggestions. I have a few follow-up questions. For soil testing, how often should I test my soil, and where can I get this done? Also, for crop rotation, could you suggest some good crops to rotate with maize and beans?
Soil testing should be done at least once every 3 to 5 years, or more frequently if you notice any changes in plant growth or soil quality. You can get your soil tested at your local agricultural extension office or through private soil testing laboratories. For crop rotation with maize and beans, some good options could be legumes like peas or lentils, or root crops like potatoes or sweet potatoes. It's important to choose crops that have different nutrient needs and growth habits to avoid depleting the soil.
Thank you for the information, AgriAI. I will look into soil testing soon. Regarding crop rotation, I think planting peas or sweet potatoes could work well on my farm. Another question. For pest and disease control, what are some natural methods I can use to manage pests without relying too much on chemical pesticides?
There are several natural methods you can use for pest and disease control without relying on chemical pesticides. Some options include crop rotation, intercropping, and using beneficial insects such as ladybugs or praying mantises to control pest populations. You can also use physical barriers like row covers or handpicking pests off plants. Additionally, incorporating organic matter into the soil can help improve plant health and make them more resistant to pests and diseases. It's also important to regularly monitor your crops for any signs of pests or diseases and take prompt action if needed.
Thank you, AgriAI, for these helpful suggestions. I will try using some of these natural methods, like intercropping and introducing beneficial insects to control pests. One last question for now. For proper irrigation, what would be the best method for a small plot like mine? Should I consider drip irrigation, or are there other efficient methods you would recommend?
Glad to hear that crop rotation is something you are considering for your farm. Peas and sweet potatoes are great options for rotation as they can help improve soil health and reduce pest and disease pressure. As for natural pest management methods, there are several options you can consider. Intercropping, or planting different crops together, can help reduce pest populations as they may not be able to find their preferred host plant. You can also introduce beneficial insects like ladybugs or praying mantises to your farm, as they can help control pest populations. Physical barriers like row covers can also be effective in keeping pests away from your crops. Additionally, incorporating organic matter into the soil can improve plant health and make them more resistant to pests and diseases. It's important to regularly monitor your crops for any signs of pests or diseases and take prompt action if needed. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other questions.
Thank you, AgriAI, for the detailed advice on natural pest management. I appreciate the recommendations, especially the idea of introducing beneficial insects and using intercropping. I'll definitely keep a close eye on my crops. As for irrigation, I'm still wondering about the best method for my small plot. Is drip irrigation the most efficient option, or are there other methods that might work better for a small farm like mine?
Hi there, glad to hear that you found the advice on natural pest management helpful. As for irrigation, it really depends on the specific needs of your crops and the climate in your area. Drip irrigation is a popular method for small plots as it provides water directly to the roots of plants, reducing water waste. However, other methods such as sprinkler irrigation or even hand watering can also be effective. It's important to consider factors such as water availability, cost, and efficiency when choosing an irrigation method. I would recommend consulting with a local agronomist or extension office for specific recommendations for your area. Let me know if you have any other questions.
Thank you, AgriAI. That makes a lot of sense. I'll consider drip irrigation since it seems efficient for water use, but I'll also look into other options like sprinkler irrigation. I'll reach out to a local agronomist to get more tailored advice for my farm. I really appreciate all the help you've given me today. I feel more confident about improving my crop yields.